What's going on, guys? James Nguyen here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. Let me see if I'm streaming. It doesn't look like it. To be honest with you. Let me, bear with me. You know what I say. It's just not a live stream without me messing up. I don't know. Later date, start now, right now. Start. Get out of town. Yeah, it says I'm live, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Hang on a second. Let me turn off that. Let me try one more thing, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me, because I've been struggling with this all day. Streaming. My family, they do this when I say, hey, I gotta stream. They're like, stream? Dad? So, let me see. It's not showing me what it normally shows me here off on the side. Like, it's asking me, like, welcome to the new YouTube live control room. When do you want to go live? Like, yeah, right now. Hello. You spring this on me right now. Built-in webcam. Stream software. Yeah, stream software. Hello. Sorry about that, guys. I think we're all set. Another question. Is this video for kids? No, I already answered that. I mean, it's safe for kids for sure. But connect stream software. And my goodness. My goodness. It is not showing me. Yeah, it is. There it is. Hey, what's going on, Rod? Sorry about this. You know it's not a good Alpha Red comic live stream without all the mess ups. And if you saw yesterday's Saturday surprise ink stream, you will have seen that I was struggling with StreamYard. And I spent all day today trying to fix the StreamYard. Plugged it into a PC, I switched cameras, I did all this stuff, and it still was garbage. It was laggy, and then it dropped at me as I was just in the studio by myself, not streaming at all, and it just dropped me. Try again. I was like, oh. So I reset some things. I tried to put everything back the same, but I had changed some things in anticipation that the yard stream was going to work. And goodness, guys. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. Let me set this up over here. Let me know if the audio is all right, because all the changes that I had to make were not redone. And then just as I'm walking up the steps, my son asked me, "Hey, Dad, who do you think is going to win the election?" And of course, we had to have like a 2-minute discussion on that, just as I was trying to start everything up. But welcome, guys. It is Sunday night, and I hope you guys had a great weekend. And this is just gonna cap it off and send you into the week with good vibes, and we're just gonna chat it up. And what's going on? Big Ray McKay is in the house. Thanks for joining me tonight. I am working on editing the script, and most of it looks good. Like I said, a little too many words, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Nothing catastrophic. I'm gonna bring this over. I'm gonna bring this drawing board over. Kaboomski. See, this is what makes it look different. Okay, because I had to switch the angle of the camera in anticipation for StreamYard. And what that did was it kind of goofed up all of my settings here for my contraption. And so hopefully things are on track. So I am on this Youngblood kick, and we're just gonna jump in, guys. Not jump in, because I've been rambling. Any hoosers. And I hate when people say that, but I've been on this Youngblood kick because Rob Liefeld announced that he was back on Youngblood in 2025, and I won a contest with this guy here, Cougar. And I didn't even remember Cougar. My memory was so bad about Youngblood because I was all in on Youngblood and all the image stuff, and then poof, so many things in between. It's been over 30 years, 35 years? Is it almost 35 years? 1992. So that's over 30 years, 32 years. And it'll be 33 years next year by the time he gets back on. But I won a contest, and then they allowed me to pick Youngblood because he had announced, Rob Liefeld had announced that they were getting into, because Rob was coming back to draw Youngblood. So they let me do it, and I've been working my way through the team. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of put them all together, assemble them all together on one picture. So I'll take you through it. That's what it looks like so far. That was the first go round. There was Mr. Shaft, one of my favorite members, the leader. I always like the leaders of the teams. I don't know if you guys had your favorites. You know, some people like the wild, hot-headed guy. Everybody liked Raphael, where I liked Leonardo in the Ninja Turtles. I liked Cyclops. Everybody liked Wolverine, and everybody. Well, I liked Duke from G.I. Joe. Everybody likes Snake Eyes, and I like Snake Eyes too, but not that he was a wild guy. But next up was Die Hard, and then yesterday was Vogue. I was working on her yesterday, and then today is going to be Chapel. So because it's such an important picture, the ensemble picture, I went ahead and did the tight pencils on it. So we're just going to jump into the inks, but because I draw relatively quickly, I am going to hopefully maybe get into Bedrock, and then ink Cougar too. But tonight is Chapel's night. Tonight is Chapel's night. Let me get caught up on the chat here. Rod says the dulcet tones are coming through clear. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Ray McKay says, sounds good. I expected it. What's going on, Herv Vossum? What's up, boys? Ray McKay says, I was very much a Michelangelo guy. Hey, and I understand it completely, because Michelangelo brought the levity, the fun. But you know what I discovered, guys, as I was doing conventions? More and more people admitted to liking Donatello. And for a while there, Donatello was the only one getting love when I asked people, who's your favorite turtle? And everybody would say Donatello for the past like 6 or 7 years, because he was the tech guy. And I guess we're all into tech and stuff now. So, what's going on in the chat? Don is the man. That's what Higher Vossum says. Rod says, and yeah, Mikey. All right. If you're new to the stream, new to the channel, I always start off with the eyes, whether it's in pencil, like after I get the general composition down, and I'm going in for some tightness. I go in for the eyes, just because that is where, you know, they're the windows to the soul. But we get trained on looking at people's eyes, and if the eyes are all screwed up, then the picture is lost, honestly. So you want to get that right, and you want to take your time. You want to perfect that. So I start off with the eyes, and I'm starting off with this. You can't see it, but it's a Pigma Micron pen, and it's a number 2. And because my hands are so oily, it is a genetic curse from my family that I'm oily. And so a lot of this stuff rubs off, and I can't tell which size pen I am picking up, and it's a lot of times it's a process of elimination that I pick the right one. But good news, guys, the Indiegogo has reached its campaign limit. Some generous person capped off the $20 needed for the Indiegogo campaign of Alpha Red number 6. So that is definitely a go. It's gonna go, guys. I know that I have the closeout event on Wednesday at 7, and it will go because I'm gonna make it happen, whether or not it legitimately happens, like organically happens, which would be the best. Obviously, less money out of the pocket for me. The happier the wife, and the checkbook. But it's going to happen. So worry not that it is not looking good on Kickstarter for an organic completion. But I'm holding out hope, guys, because there are a lot of friends and family who have verbally pledged, or at least through emails or on social media, have promised that they would support it, and they have not yet. So there is still hope that it organically happens. And there is already money that came in from those kinds of people, and they are not tech savvy. And I was holding out hope that I would not have to share their support with a crowdfunding platform, because the crowdfunding platform takes a big percentage of what you're asking for. And so I will use the rest of that money to kind of dump into the campaign to get it over the finish line. So worry not. But if you would like to support Alpha Red number 6, you can go to alpharedcomic.com to go to my Kickstarter campaign, and what you'll find there is an exclusive cover, only available through the campaign, and it is an homage cover of New Mutants number 98. And so that is the first appearance of Deadpool, drawn by Mr. Rob Liefeld. And that is one of the covers that I have been dying to homage ever since I realized how many people were using homages to kind of inspire people to invest in their campaigns, into their comics. It was my comic shop owner who suggested it, because he said that on my own he would not be able to buy any comics from me, because I'm a unknown commodity, and Alpha Red is an unknown commodity. But he said that if I had an homage cover, that it would more likely be picked up off the shelves, and that he might carry it in the store. And true to his word, it's available in the store. I put a higher price tag on it so that there's profit to be shared with them. Typically it's a $5 book. If you see it, actually I changed it. That's right, I changed it to $10, just to motivate people to buy the A cover. But that is what inspired the exclusive covers on the 3 different platforms. So Alpha Red is available on Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and Fund My Comic. And each offering on each platform has its own exclusive cover. So Kickstarter's is New Mutants 98. But over on Indiegogo, it is a Dark Knight Returns homage cover. So I am very excited that Indiegogo hit the funding goal. I did set it a little lower, just because I thought that my previous fans who had supported me from previous campaigns over on Kickstarter would automatically come back, but apparently it's not the guarantee, which is fine. This is a learning curve, and the market is changing. 2 years ago, well, I did do a campaign at the beginning of this year for the trade paperback, and that went gangbusters, and so that did give me the confidence to go ahead and put it on Kickstarter, and also to feel confident that I could put it at a higher limit and still make the goal. But I'm finding out that things have kind of changed. There's a lot of oversaturation in the crowdfunding market, and without the name recognition, whether it be as the creator or as the IP, that it is a heavy lift to get the support that you think that you might have gotten in the past. It's definitely not a guarantee, is what I'm finding out. So, but it is what it is. And there is plenty of support, and I'm super thankful for that. Hey, what's going on, Little by Little Homeschool W Chat? Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me from 2 floors below. Is that supposed to be our secret? Roar, okay. It's gonna be a live one, guys. If my family is a watching, I'm gonna have to concentrate a little bit harder, because they're gonna try to break me. So, are you guys into Youngblood, the 90s stuff? Does it move the needle for you that Rob Liefeld is coming back to his creation, which I didn't realize he no longer owned? He said an investor came in, the investor was helping him out, and then when things were falling apart with Image, they kind of divvied up the assets, and he lost Youngblood, and he was still involved with it, but he did not own it. And then I guess a couple years ago, as the story goes from Rob, that they were taking it in a different direction, and it's been 8 years. He decided not to go in the direction that they wanted. So it sounds like he plays a little bit of hardball when he doesn't like the direction, which, hey, more power to him. Stick to your guns. And so that sounds like what he did. But with the success of Deadpool Wolverine and him selling developing Evangeline, one of his other creations, I think Hollywood has come a calling, and that has kind of motivated some people. The person who owns Youngblood to do it Rob's way, if they want to make some money. He sounds like he hustles, so I don't begrudge the guy his success. whether or not you like his artwork, you gotta respect the hustle and the success. And I probably like Rob Liefeld more now than I did back in the 90s. And I liked him I liked him fine. I don't want to overstate that I was really into Rob Liefeld in the 90s. But since I have found his podcast, I really enjoy his insight and his excitement for the medium. And, more power to him. More power to him. So how is your weekend, guys? Is it getting cold where you are? It got really, really cold the previous weekend, 2 weekends ago, and I thought for sure we were gonna see winter, because it was very wintry 2 weekends ago. And then last weekend it was beautiful, and then it was beautiful all week, and then it was beautiful today also. I mean, it was cold in the morning for sure. There was frost. But are you guys getting frost? I almost slipped off the steps when I went for my walk. In the mid-50s here today. Really nice. Yeah, we might have had the same weather. Rod, we were in the mid-50s. Actually, we were in probably the lower 50s, but it was sunny. So as long as you weren't like outside, it looked like a nice day. And I was sitting in the sun. I was doodling this. I put this together, and the bad rock. So as well. I don't know how to do the afro hair here, because I don't want to make it look like it is all like flat up top. Although it might have been flat. Like if you look at how it was drawn in the 90s, it was a flat top, because those were what was in the 90s, and that was fine to be drawn as a flat top. Remember the Gumby? And a lot of black friends who rocked the Gumby, and it was like the not quite symmetrical afro. And man, hey, I was jealous. But yeah, to add any kind of texture, the black texture, hair texture, you had to really count on the colors to come in and save you, I think. Yeah. So I am looking forward to this week. Number one, because the campaign is closing, and it's a grind, really, guys. I don't know if you've noticed, like on social media, I force myself to get on social media. I'm not naturally a social media guy. Says the guy who has a YouTube channel and draws weekly. But this has been a really a fun exercise to do something like this on YouTube with the YouTube channel, and then you guys show up, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being here. Let me see. This isn't quite dashboard. Close this dashboard. Next. Nope. I don't know what's going on with this. YouTube just started doing something different here. Ray McKay says, you're doing a hell of a job repping the campaign, boss. Great work. Well done. I appreciate the cheerleading. And if you guys don't know who Mr. Ray McKay, is you will soon enough, especially if you have supported Alpha Red number 6. I recruited Ray to write Alpha Red number 6 for me. I had some writer's block, something fierce, and he was the right kid at the right time. He's a young college student up there in the Great White North of Canada, and he asked a couple times, "Hey, are you looking for a writer? Are you looking for a writer?" And I said, No. I write Alpha Red. Nobody else gets to write Alpha Red. But when I hit the wall, I said, I just want to draw. I want to draw Alpha Red, and I was spending weeks. What felt like weeks. It was probably a week and a half on trying to develop the story that I had in mind, and it was such a heavy story coming out of the events of issue number 5, and I felt like I had to dive into a more serious kind of story because of where the characters were left off, and it wasn't hitting the tone that I wanted, and so I asked Ray to come in and try to write that story for me, and he didn't sound super motivated to do it. He has a better way. He had a much better diplomatic way of saying it. He's like, I think it's a story that you need to write. Smooth, Ray. But yeah, and that might be true because it's still stewing back there, and so you never know. You never know if I've got that story that needs to come out, and I do think about it. I don't think about it quite as often as I was back in the early parts of this year, but I do remember the details of it, and I do like it. I don't dislike the direction I was going, but I'm having so much fun with Ray's plot and just working with the writer and just being able to share the journey with someone on more of a he gets to see all the pages first. He's one of the first people I share the pages with. I just got the inks back for pages 17 and 18 from the inker, and they look fantastic, and I was able to share it with Ray. I think I shared it with Ray. Did I share it with you? Let's see. Rod says, the apprentice and I are in for the long haul, brother. Awesome. You make them, we'll buy them. Thank you, bro. That makes me feel so good because I need that kind of encouragement that we're kind of on the right track. And I am planning on a decade-long kind of arc. And if I can pull it off, that would be fantastic. And I know that I don't have a whole lot of time, so the story just has to move on. And the more books that I can do per year, the smoother the story can move. But we'll see how Ray can pitch in and help me out with that. I don't typically use a ruler, guys, but I feel the pressure of this art contest, and I don't want to mess it up. I feel like people are going to be looking, and if I can take this art contest and point people to Alpha Red because of it, because I win, then that is the goal. that was always the goal anyway. When I do these art contests, it's not because I have a lot of time on my hands, but I know that when it hits, I get some eyeballs on Alpha Red, especially on the Facebook channel, the Facebook page, and that kind of starts moving people over here to YouTube. And then I'm hoping that after people watch me draw some of the things that they like, especially on the Rob Liefeld Marvel Extreme and Beyond Facebook page, they can trust me to bring them some action and entertainment in the form of artwork. So hopefully the story in Alpha Red number 6 is fun for you to read, because it has been super fun for me to draw, and really kind of pushing my boundaries. And with the inker, JC Vaughn, who has come aboard, man, he brings another level to my artwork, and I couldn't be happier that he has agreed to join us, and is affordable, at least for my budget. I know that some people have asked if they can borrow him, and he is open to more commissions, more inking commissions, but I don't think some people are prepared to pay what he's asking. But for me, it is definitely worth what he's asking, because he's not just tracing my artwork. And here's an example of his artwork. Do I have, let me see, this is it right here. And if I could pull out page 14, I think this is page 14. I'm gonna pull out page 14 in pencil. And when you see the difference he brings, hang on a second. All right. So these are my pencils. So this was the first page that he did for me. Hopefully that doesn't wash out. Does that wash out? Let's turn this down a little bit. And then this is what he brings. Kaboom. And I just, here's a comparison. I don't know. It just excites me to keep drawing, so that I can see what how his inks kind of elevate what I laid down. So super excited, and super excited for you guys to see. I was so excited that I actually went back and had him ink some pages that I had already inked, because page number 14 is the first page that I did not ink myself. So there are no inks that are done by me past page 14. And but because he was so fast and he was doing such a good job, I actually had him go all the way back to page 9 and redo my inks. And I can't wait to see the colors on that. And that is where my colorist is right now. So his next page will be page 9. He's colored all the way up through page 8. And so I'm excited to see his first his first colors over JC Grande's inks. See if I'm missing anything. Rod says YouTube wouldn't let me leave a comment on the Duke stream. They are too big for that kind of difficulties. Yeah, I saw an email come in, and then that said that you were looking for possibly the cover to Duke, and I will put it up. I might just I don't know if you can just get a hold of me on X, on Twitter, and just cut. I'll give you what I was going to put it on Etsy for, and cut out the middleman on Etsy. But I did see the email come through that notified me that there was a message, and then I went to YouTube and it wasn't there, and I was like, well, maybe he didn't want it, like maybe he changed his mind. And so I didn't want to pressure you. If you change your mind about wanting the Duke cover, and so I was like, I'm just gonna let it go. And then, I got another email from you, another email from the YouTube page, but then the comment wasn't there. So I'm glad you said something, because that kind of, now I know. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why they didn't want to give me the comment, but they are doing something. These high-tech guys, maybe they don't want to be cut out. They want in. They want a piece of the money. So, but yeah, I'll contact you, Rod, on Twitter, and I'll let you know how much I was gonna put it up for, and you can let me know if you're down for that. I do have some other G.I. Joes, G.I. Joe covers that I have, that I'll offer to you too, so you can be the first guy before I put it up on Etsy. But yeah, I'll make it affordable for sure. I just want to buy more G.I. Joe. That's all I'm looking for. So if I can buy the trade paperback for the Duke for, I don't know, are you collecting any of them? Because I was planning on selling my whole set of Dukes, all 5 of them, and then really just for the cost of the shipping and the cost for the trade paperback, which I know that my comic book store has, and then maybe an extra $5 or $10 on top of that, so I can get the next 2 or 3 issues of G.I. Joe, and that's really it. I just need somebody to pay for my hobby. You're helping me read more comics, Rod, by buying that my sketch covers. Yeah, so that's funny. That's funny. Let's see, YouTube. What's going on, Eric Scott? Enjoy your work. Keep it up. Be encouraged. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, that is weird, right? Right, Rod? Like, I don't understand. Like I said, it's probably because they want in on the cut, and they don't like people trying to work around. I don't know how they would get a cut of something that I was selling to you. But yeah. No, so I'll show you where. So he is going to be like all the way in front. So as I was putting this together, he'll be like all the way in front. He'll be kind of covering up Shaft here when I scan him in and then put him into the ensemble. I'm going to make like a mock cover. So hopefully that will bring some eyeballs to my artwork, to my page, and then hopefully over to Alpha Red the comic. So I don't know. Are you guys Youngblood fans at all? Are you Rob Liefeld fans? Yeah, I'm all set on the Energon universe. Gotcha. Yeah. No, that's they're doing such a good job with all that stuff. But yeah, I got a Destro. I keep wanting to say Deathstro, but it's just Destro. I've got a Destro cover that's turning out to be super cool. I just have to finish it. I didn't care too much for the story at first. Like, issue number 1 of Destro was kind of a letdown after Duke and Cobra Commander were so good. So it took a lot for me to give issue number 2 a shot, but they recovered it in issue number 2. Number 3 was kind of a little meh, and then I couldn't find issue number 4 for a while. I just realized where I put it. I mean, I bought it for sure, but I had not read it, and then I didn't know where I put it. But I just found it as I was getting ready for the stream, so. How are we looking so far, guys? Does it look like the chapel that you remember? There's a bootleg site. I don't know if I should let you guys in on the bootleg site, because I don't read my comics on this bootleg site, but it's really good for references and stuff if I'm looking for anything. Like I did Pit the other day, and I have long since sold my Pit collection when I moved from Pennsylvania to New York. And that was 9-ish years ago. And so I did not have any Pits handy. So I went to this bootleg site, and it has scans of almost every comic that you can think of, honestly. High resolution scans. And I was able to find some references for Chapel. I imagine because it was so long ago that they didn't have like digital scans for this stuff. I'm sure they did for printing and whatnot, but by and large, they didn't scan it, and it didn't go on some kind of server or something and just waiting to be plucked out and posted on the internet as promotion. So the costumes for these characters from the 90s change. They honestly change from panel to panel. It is so, like, I don't know what. Obviously, I bought them all back in the day, but it didn't seem to matter to Mr. Liefeld or to Todd McFarlane that Spawn's outfit changed from panel to panel. Their costumes changed from panel to panel. So it was hard for me to come up with the costume. And this is still a hodgepodge of different versions that I saw online. And so I even in issue number 1 that I found on this bootleg site, like they introduced Chapel, and then in the very next panel, he looks completely different. Different things on the biceps. They had the one shoulder had a shoulder pad, the other one didn't, and then the very next one, both of them had it, and then by the end of the comic, no shoulder pads. And I was like, wow. I guess. I mean, it was exciting. It was the pictures were very exciting. I remember how different they were to the house style that Marvel seemed to have at the time. And when I discovered comics was when Jim Lee and all those guys were kind of breaking the mold, and they were changing what the house style look like. Definitely look more exciting with the different angles, and it was more cartoony, I want to say. Excuse me, guys. But it inspired me, so I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And I thought that I was going to be drawing their characters, or actually I was thinking that because they had their own characters, it really left room for me on X-Men and Spider-Man. So I was always, if I couldn't work for them drawing their characters, I was plenty happy sending my samples into Marvel and trying to steal the jobs that they left. And that was my mindset. I was like, good. They created their own company. I'll just draw Spider-Man. And still waiting for the call. No, I have stopped sending my samples in. I am happy to create my own comic and having fun while I'm doing it, sharing it with you guys. And I appreciate you guys picking up Alpha Red. And if you're new to the channel, I draw my own comic called Alpha Red. And I am looking for support for the latest issue, number 6. And you can go to Kickstarter by going to alpharedcomic.com. That will take you to my campaign, and you can get caught up. There's catch-up tiers. There's trade paperbacks. You can get caught up with through trade paperbacks or the single issues. And there's homage covers. You'll find an homage cover that is exclusive to Kickstarter. And there's actually 2 other campaigns that I'm running for the same comic on 2 different platforms, 2 other platforms that have their own exclusive homage covers. The Kickstarter is New Mutants number 98, first appearance of Deadpool homage cover. So that is a fun one. And when I buy out if I have to buy out the Kickstarter, I will have some extra ones. I will use that. I will only print up enough to cover how many of those pledges that would have happened. So I'm not going to go bananas on overprinting that New Mutants 98 homage cover. But I will probably have some to auction off or to sell on Etsy. So that's the plan. That's the plan. And so, yeah, it's been a fun journey to figure out this social media stuff. It really forced me to figure out what I wanted to do with Alpha Red, and I am 100% behind making him for at least the next 10 years. So, and I have lofty goals of getting it up to issue number 60 in 10 years. But the story is more important. So I have a story. I have a large story that I want to tell within those 10 years. And just laying out the pacing of it. I'd prefer that I do it within the 60 issues that in the next whatever 54 issues, so that I can build this story arc, build more characters, to add more characters. I have some other fun characters that I'd love to throw in there, and characters that I'm gonna need to develop or create to kind of tell the story, to push the story in the direction that I want it. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So we got how much more time? 8 more minutes. 8 more minutes, guys. So I am gonna use a bigger size pen, and this is what I do to kind of ink here. Where is it? It's just been my style, is that I kind of go through the whole picture with one size pen, and then kind of outline stuff to kind of bring attention to certain shapes, and let the other lines kind of fall to the background, and I leave it a little bit, not sketchy, but like just not as highlighted as I do with a thicker line. Is there music playing? Can you guys hear music? The homage covers were a difficult decision. Yeah, I get you, bro. I get you. No, I buy some just for the homage covers. I dig them. Oh, I missed one. Diverse comics and pop. Cool chapel, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see if okay. Very cool. But yeah, you see how I'm just kind of outlining some of these lines just to kind of give it the shape, and then I'll just kind of leave like all these details in here as a like less important. I don't know how to de-emphasize them. I de-emphasize all the little details by highlighting some of these bigger details, like all the tech stuff in here. Not that I'm a big tech guy. I don't really draw the tech stuff super well, but I'm working on it. That has something to do with the direction I'm going with Alpha Red too. And it is inspired a little bit by the Energon universe and some of the direction that they're using, but mine obviously is going to be a little bit more faith-based, and the people who are trying to control the technology and energy and all that kind of stuff, that'll be kind of the highlight or the undergirding of the storylines moving forward, as they struggle through just the normal superhero kind of storylines. But that is the general direction, just because it's not just inspired by the Energon universe. It's really inspired by the stuff that's happening in our real world. I don't know if you caught the Elon Musk Optimus robot stuff, but if it's not fake, because I know a lot of people were saying it was fake, and I mean I don't know, it can go either way. whether they're remote controlled and the AI was not AI, but like a remote controlled person listening and reacting. I don't know, those things were scary, interesting. And it's a sneak peek into the future and technology and who gets to wield the technology. And whoever gets it is going to control everything. So I think Elon is just the most recognizable face of the people who are working on this stuff, and he's kind of leveraging the celebrity aspect of it, whereas some people are kind of just behind the scenes doing the AI stuff, and that's more scary than Elon being out front telling you what he's doing. So, but that's kind of what is inspiring the technological aspect. And there's, some supernatural stuff, and because that's kind of the world that my story operates in, spiritual and supernatural and whatnot. But that's, in my world, that's kind of where technology comes from. At least the more desired technology. And so that'll be the fun stuff. All right, guys. I'm going to wind it down here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Got another 2 or 3 minutes here. 2 minutes. So I just don't want to end the night without saying thank you for hanging out. Rod, thank you for hanging out the whole time here. I appreciate you. Appreciate your encouragement. And I am excited to share all these ideas and stories with you and everybody else who's going to find it within the next couple years here. And I'm hoping to have 2 issues of Alpha Red in 2025 and then maybe 4 in 2026. And if I can keep up that pace with 4 for the next 2 or 3 years after that, and then go to maybe 6 a year, I can hit the 60 issue mark in 10 years. Because I'll be 60 then. That's kind of a nice round number goal that I'm aiming for, is to have 60 issues of Alpha Red by the time I'm 60. So that would be a good cap to the story. And hopefully by then, someone will give me gobs and gobs of money to make movies and cartoons and toys and stuff of it. And then we'll be reminiscing. Rod, you and I will be reminiscing about Alpha Red way back when nobody knew what an Alpha Red was. Or a Red Alpha. A lot of people call them Red Alpha. I admit that Alpha Red is probably not, I probably would not name him Alpha Red if I knew that it was going to be the thing that I stuck with for as long as I stuck with it. It was really just supposed to be a fun thing that I did to kind of get Marvel and DC to take a look at my work. But all right, guys, I appreciate you hanging out. I'm gonna call it done for the live stream. I'm gonna hit. I don't have any videos for the campaign. It's queued up, so I'm just gonna hit the outro. Next week we'll be done with the Youngblood stuff. So maybe suggestions on what you'd like to see me draw next week. Next week we'll go back to maybe pencils, from a blank page to as far as we can get on pencils. So until next week, 8 o'clock Sunday, next Sunday, we'll see you then. Grace and peace. Hit the outro.
shadows he rises, with courage in his heart, a beacon of hope, he's ready to start. With faith as his armor, and a fire in his soul, Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need, with the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread, for the world is safe with Alpha Red. Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need, with the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread, for the world is safe with Alpha Red. Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, you'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need, with the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread, for the world is safe with Alpha Red. So stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget, the world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Red.